All right, let's go ahead and go back in session again. All right, I think, Dr. Woodruff, we've talked about everything so far. What's next on your agenda?
Well, basically where we are at this point is you've been through the entire budget. We're not proposing any tax increases. We're not proposing any significant fee increases. There will be one or two minor fee increases relative to things such as putting in the taxi cab, the
peddler.
The peddler, yes, the peddler. There's also a minor adjustment in some of the recommended fees from your record committee, but they're very minor. Other than that, it is what I would call a vanilla budget. You've given us direction on the loose ends that we have here. What we'd like to do is determine when you believe you're ready to proceed with the adoption of the budget. As of tonight, you have given us enough direction that we could be ready. We have a mandatory public hearing on May the 5th. We could be ready on May the 5th with the final numbers and have it for adoption. Likewise, you could postpone that until May the 19th or until one of your meetings in June. So at this point, Mr. Mayor, we would open it for your direction as to what you and the council would like to do relative to proceeding with the budget.
All right, council, it's on the table. Is there anything that you want to bring up as far as the budget is concerned? Are you satisfied with the manager's recommendation as far as approval on what date was that?
It could be May the 5th, 1 week from tonight, or at a future date.
And
Do we have anything?
I was just going to say, you got the public hearing that night, and if anyone speaks and that wants y'all to, and y'all consider you want to reconsider, you could always postpone adoption after that, because that, of course, would come before the adoption. So again, that if you want it on the May 5th, you still have that option if someone speaks in reference to a particular item.
Is there any consideration for adjustments for employees' compensation?
Those would be matters, it's been traditional that you as a council have that discussion as to what you feel you should do.
Is there any information as to what our neighbors are doing, if anything?
In conversations, actually email conversations on Friday, we are aware that ONWASA is proposing an increase. They believe at this point, even though it has not been to their board, they're going to be recommending roughly a 2.5% increase, but that's also to help offset what they believe is a fairly substantial increase in their health insurance premiums. The county manager informed me that they have not made a decision on what increase, if any, they will be giving. From a cost of living standpoint, Gail, I believe you've looked at some CPI information.
The one we historically use is December to December, and in December of last year it was 0.6.
In the current budget, FY
0.6?
Yes, sir.
In the FY15 budget, you did pass along a 2% increase to all employees. That's pretty much the historical record.
That was in last year's budget.
In the current budget, or FY15. Yes. Do you feel that you're in a position for us to finalize the budget for May the 5th? I don't want to push you, but if we're to that point, we would like to go ahead and have it finalized if you're comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
How about y'all?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Joe, you good?
Think you and staff have done a very good job bringing it forward.
Well, as always, I commend the departments and I commend Gail and her staff. We have several people here in her staff, and I'd like to ask Gail to recognize them a moment, if you would.
I think Mr. Bidner has one comment.
I'm sorry.
before you get
I'd like to know what the average, if there is such thing, either the average or the median compensation for the staff, employees rather than staff. Both the average and the median.
We'll get the average, we'll get the mean, we'll get the median.
Median.
Don't want married.
Standard deviation?
No. knows if it's 95% grade or so.
Would you recognize your staff?
We have Alan Weeks. I think most of y'all have met him. He's the senior finance manager. And Stacy Ventura is over here in the corner. She's only been with us a few months. She comes from Pollocksville. She's our new budget analyst.
What we'd like to do, if we could, just have 2 more minutes. There's some special things going on. I'd like to ask Susan Baptist if she would come up and give you a briefing and give the public a briefing on this coming weekend's activities. Susan?
Thank you. Good evening. I won't take much of your time, but I do want to remind everybody, if you haven't seen it, the Jacksonville's Jamboree is on Saturday. It is slated to be a beautiful day, so we are looking for a nice, good turnout. We've gotten some great responses, lots of feedback. We are full with all of our vendor slots. We are full with all of our food. We've increased the amount of food trucks that we have, so we're excited about that. And then we're very excited to be able to offer children's amusements this year. We have a carousel ride coming in, a motorcycle ride, teacups coming in. So the feedback we've gotten from parents already is that they're ecstatic that it's free. We had one parent ask if it was a mistake, and we were happy to clarify that it was not, and it was all the amusements are free, we're able to offer to the citizens. So on top of that, we have a very large basketball tournament coming in. We have about 70 plus teams coming in.
This same weekend.
This same weekend. We have increased that 10 teams, additionally 10 teams. Last year we had about 60, and the response has been so positive that we have made adjustments, and we are utilizing lots of schools and for just about every indoor facility as we can. So we have 70 plus teams, and then probably about 15, possibly up to 20 softball teams. Car show, the remote control. Boats are going to be there, all the children's amusements, lots of vendors, food trucks, great lineup of entertainment. We have the Marine Corps Band. It's starting us off at 11 o'clock, and then we go into our live entertainment throughout the day. So it'll be a great weekend. We hope everybody can make it. We'd love to see you. So yeah.
It's at the Commons, right?
Yes, sir, it is at the Commons. It'll be everywhere at the Commons.
And as a note, this is probably the largest tourism heads and beds activity of the year. Not for the city, not sponsored by the city, but sponsored by anyone. Because of the basketball tournament, we have over 200 rooms projected to be booked by the basketball teams that are coming in. That's actually, we were told that they have 2 full hotels booked.
Full, and we had to add 2 more hotels in the past couple of days to accommodate the increase. So we have lots of.
What are the hours?
The majority of the events will take place, the festival will take place on Saturday, starting at 11. Basketball will start on Friday, Friday evening, as soon as they get out of school. And then softball, depending on how many teams they have, they might start on Saturday. And basketballs will go through Sunday.
You said might start on Saturday. Do you mean might start on Friday or Saturday? Softball is which day?
Softball is majority of that will be on Saturday, unless we have so many teams that we start on Friday, which is still.
Forecast,
We do have a nice weather forecast, so it could be that we.
as opposed to the yard block last week.
Yes, sir.
How'd that go?
Still turned out.
It went well. We had some nice feedback as far as public coming out. They appreciated a different sort of festival, but we were able to condense the vendors so that it wasn't spread out. Unfortunately, we did lose some vendors because of the weather. And they have art, understandably, they didn't want their artwork out there. But we have, they have some really great potential to make that a really nice event, provided the weather.
And Mr. Bittner, we do want to apologize. Your watercolor painting of the City Hall, the rain got to that, so we're sorry for that.
That 12 by 12 foot mural,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
being entrusted with the responsibility for its safety to you.
We still have the mural. It just looks more like modern art than what you drew. So, 2 other things that
A
we
lot
would
of
like
orange
to.
in there I put in there.
Yes, sir, there's a lot of orange. I appreciated that, too. 2 other things we would like to very quickly mention. This is the final week where we will be displaying here in City Hall the exhibit for the month that the mayor and the council declared relative to sexual abuse. It's a display that shows 100 sets of jeans recognizing the 100 counties. that will be displayed through Friday. Over the weekend, that will come down. And we do appreciate the fact that the council offered that to the women's shelter for that exhibit. And then the other thing for the public who is watching, if you're involved in the area of Country Club and Commerce where a rezoning petition was filed by Barton Lanier, Mr. Lanier withdrew that petition yesterday. Therefore, the hearing that was scheduled for this coming Tuesday, May the 5th, that hearing is canceled because the petition has been withdrawn. We are sending out letters, actually did send out letters yesterday to everyone who got a letter at the previous neighborhood meeting. We're also using the telephone system, Connect CTY or whatever Glenn calls it today, to call additional people in that area. But if you live in that area or know anyone in that area, please get the message to them that that public hearing has been withdrawn. It's not on the council agenda because the petition was withdrawn. But, do we have other items we could address for the mayor and council?
Yes, I had a question, Dr. Woodruff. In terms of annual performance appraisals, is there additional bonuses given to staff members or just the one-time raise they receive if council approves it?
There is only the cost of living adjustment. We do not do performance appraisals. We do annual evaluations, but they do not result in monetary increases.
Don't we still do the work performance awards or no?
Yes, sir, we do. We still have what we call Performance Plus. They're part of the Work Performance Award. For example, when someone does something above and beyond that makes the city look good, or that they come up with an idea, they can get a bonus. That is a one-time cash payment. It does not go to their permanent salary. And the maximum on that is $500. So.
Just for clarification, your request for
West on
the,
New Bridge Street toward Bayshore Boulevard West, then turn right onto North Bayshore Boulevard.
your request that you made about the averages, what was it you were asking for? I wasn't quite clear.
The average and the median compensation of the workforce.
For the entire workforce?
Yes.
Okay, not individuals?
No,
Okay.
no.
Mayor, that concludes the items we have for you tonight.
Anybody else have anything? How about a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.